Hey, my name is Audi Caspi. Today I'm going to show you how to find CPC spikes in your account beyond what you see in the regular reports. Alright, so we are looking at a 90-day period, which is kind of a sweet spot in many accounts for having enough kind of data to make significant decisions, but at the same time it's still relevant. It's not like looking a year back and many things change in a year. So 90-day look back period. The average CPC in this account is 65 pence, so it's not too high, but let's discover what kind of spikes are in it. We had like good volume mainly on search and PMAX. It's a lead generation account and it's 46k during this period. So what we need to do is create a custom report, and these reports are in here. You go to report editor, click on that, and now create report. So in this thing, we can add like a table with all the metrics and dimensions that we want. So the first thing that we'll add, and this is really what makes it more segmented and less averagey, is day. So we are actually going to not only look at the search terms in this period, but we're actually going to look at the search terms divided into days as well, so that they're super unique, and we can see as few averages as possible and as much unique clicks as possible. And then we're going to add search terms. Now search terms, we're choosing search terms because that's the most granular data that we can have. We are currently masking this, so you can't see this. The text here is white, so you can't see it because it's white on white, but when you type in search terms and add them here, you'll see your own search terms. Right, now I'm actually going to go to the blog post that we've written about this. So the next thing is the match type for the search term. So if we do search term match type, and again the point here is to just make it super granular, and then we want the keyword as well, because a search term can appear for several keywords, and the more granular we make it, the more unique it will become. And then again, we are masking the keywords so you can't see them. Then we want the keyword match type, the campaign, the ad group, the device, and the network. Let's see if I can remember all of that. Keyword match type. So we were here. Keyword. Is it already there somewhere? Keyword. Let's just write match. Match type. Search keyword match type. We'll add it as a row again. We had the campaign, the ad group. These reports are super powerful. So we have all this data. Again, we're masking a lot of this, so we're not exposing any kind of client information. Ad group. And I think there was, what else was there? Network. Let's see if I forgot anything. Network. Again, a lot of these dimensions wouldn't usually interest me that much, but I just want to make sure that I'm having as many individual incidents of clicks as possible. So let's just go back to our post to see. Yes, we have ad group device. Device is the one. So device is quite cool because we can actually segment it that little bit further. Add it to the row. All right, so now we have 184,500 clicks during this period on search campaigns. All right, PMAX is not going to be in there. Now, what we want is the CPC, average CPC. Now we're going to get mostly individual clicks here. And then we want the number of clicks as well. And that will tell us if we're averaging or if we're seeing unique clicks, and we will mostly see unique. And then we want the conversion, the cost, and cost per conversion really. So let's say conversion, cost, and cost per conversion. And let's just arrange this. So we want CPCs, the clicks, the cost per conversion, and the cost, like that. All right, so we have a mammoth report in here. Let's just make some of these a little bit narrower so we can see them on the screen. All right, so in a normal report without this masking of the information, you'll be able to see the actual search terms and all that. Now, let's prepare to be shocked. Let's arrange this. The average CPC for this period, for search terms, that means like sometimes Google doesn't actually show us the search terms for what they call privacy reasons, but for the search terms that they show us, the average CPC is £1 and 2 pence. But what happens when we arrange this by high to low, then we actually have clicks that are over £10. So we have clicks that are 7, 9, 10, 11 times the average, which is a little bit insane. And as you can see, these are all individual clicks. Now you will get some clicks that are not individual. If we arrange it by the number of clicks, we will get some that are like 8 and 7. But considering that it's such a long time and with so many individual clicks in there, then that's a huge number. Well, one thing that actually I'm a little bit surprised about as we're recording this now, like, why do we only have 5,000? Before we had over 180,000. So why is that happening? Let me try and figure this out. Okay, so I've been playing around with this, and to be honest, I don't really know why this is happening, and this is interesting. So we have 184 clicks on search terms during this period, individual clicks, and some of them, I don't know why this is happening, but once I add a metric, any metric to this, it automatically reduces this to 5,500, which I don't really know why, but for the moment, let's just live with that. So again, I'll just add the metrics. We had like the cost, we had the conversions, and we had cost per conversion. Because really what we want to find out as well is whether this is a good thing or a bad thing for our performance. So let's just put the cost per conversion next to CPC. Let's arrange our CPC from high to low. And we have these extortionate CPCs in here. Now, I guess what we want to find out now is this good for our performance? Like, are we actually getting conversions? Because I think we can see here, like there's one conversion here for £7, and the average cost per conversion in the account is £62. So if we are actually getting these super expensive clicks, but they're converting well, then who cares? We're happy. But if they're a drain on our resources, that's not good. So I guess what we can do is add a filter. Now, we're not going to add a filter through this because that is filters for ad groups and campaigns and all sorts of stuff like that. What we're going to do is add the filter on the metric level. So click on this little triangle, add the filter. And then what we want to do is filter by CPC over, let's say, over £5. And let's see what happens. So if we just look at these metrics here, we spent like £6,000, £6,500. The cost per conversion was £62. Let's see, and the amount of conversion is 106. So apply the filter, and the cost per conversion now is 174, and we spent on this segment of clicks that are expensive, more expensive than £5, we spent £171. So it's not going to change our account by a lot, but it's going to save us some wastage, right? Because we are basically eliminating this £170 that only resulted in one conversion. Now, let's play around with this to find the sweet spot. So what happens if this is like £6? It's going to be £6. It's less wastage. So let's go lower. Let's go what happens if we're only looking at CPCs over £4. So over £4, it's £74. So it's above the average CPC, that cost per conversion that we had, which was £62, and it's saving us £300. So this might be like this, or 5 might be a good place to cap the account. Let's go further down. Let's see, £3. £3, anything over £3 is costing us 80 per conversion, so that's quite good to get rid of that, and it's actually wasted £800 of our budget. So at the cost of potentially losing 10 conversions, we will be saving £800. for very expensive conversion, and this probably is a good place to cap CPCs. Now, you can cap CPCs, of course, if you're using manual bidding, but if you're using automated bidding, you can use portfolio bid strategies, and there in the advanced options, you have the option to cap your CPCs at a certain level. So this might be something I experiment with in this account, is capping it at £3 and seeing if that does indeed result in more cheaper conversions. And I guess there's two things to consider here. Like, when we're capping, we're potentially losing 10 conversions here, which is kind of not the end of the world, because that is just under 10% of the overall conversions in that time. So we're potentially losing on some conversions. But what could happen is that we're saving that money, and that money is going towards more conversions at a cheaper cost. And that is hopefully what will happen. So hopefully this £800 is going to be spent on conversions costing £50 and not £80. So hopefully we'll actually get more conversions. But I guess one kind of word of caution on this, if we were to cap it too much and we'd be losing too much of the spend and too much of the volume and of the conversions, then we would potentially reduce the overall account output. We might just have less conversions, less spend, maybe more efficient, but we might be risking it and losing too much. So it's a good thing to cap it at an amount that doesn't take away too much of your current spend and too much of your current conversion volume, but does make your account more efficient. So I hope this makes sense. We do have a blog post about portfolio bid strategies and how to cap CPCs with these. So I will add a link to that in the description and also in our blog post about this. So if you have any questions, shoot me a comment or an email, and I hope this has been useful. See you soon.